Let us begin with this one. The meditation according to the Yoga Aphorisms of Patanjali. In between 2 Sundays, there was Mother Sthiti Puja, so there was a small little gap one day. So again, we will start, and the first two, we can say the sutras, we will chant from the Shankaracharya. Are you having this paper? Okay, I will just recite and then you can follow me. Mano buddhaham kara cittani naham nacha shutra jive nacha ghrana netre nacha vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa Shivoham Shivoham Nacha prana samgo Navai pancha vayu Nava sapta dhatu Nava pancha koshaha Nava panipado Nachopasthapayu Chidananda rupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. These words again and again, every time before the class we repeat, because these are the things that one will realize after samadhi, after the concentration, after the complete meditation, after the goal of all this yoga. So these things, again and again, Shankaracharya, in a wonderful melodious way, he is teaching us so that it goes into our subconscious mind, so that we can remember these are the truths. On 15th of December, the last Sunday, last class, we have read and discussed in details the 15th and 16th aphorisms of the first chapter, and this first chapter has been named as Samadhi Pada or Yoga Pada. Pada means the chapter. Drishta Anusravika Vishaya Britishnasya Vashikara Sangha Vairagyam. This is the first step of realization of God, or to get the spirituality, or to complete the meditation. First is Vairagya. Then this Vairagya, Drishta and Anusravika, these are the two. Renunciation, which is the basis of spiritual path, is power of battling against two forces. Renunciation empowers us, gives us the power to battle against two forces. Forces, the word Swami Vivekananda is telling. And what are those forces? Drishta and Anusravika. Directly we experience something, we get attracted, attached to that, and that creates problem in our mind. So from there, from our direct experience, drishta means by seeing, but by directly experiencing, and this anusravika by hearing, from the experience of the others. When some people are coming and telling us something, we are also becoming attracted. The last time we discussed about it, so many people will be coming and telling you, oh, you have not visited that, and immediately we think we have lost so many things, as because we have not visited that place or met that person or this or that. So that way also our minds become agitated and we lose the concentration. The drishta and anusravika, that these two things we have to vashikara, we have to control. Now how? Here again we have discussed the 4 stages of vashikara or vairagya. Because the scientifically it goes, it is not that somehow emotional thing or some supernatural thing. Just like the science, very categorically, slowly it is taking us to that goal, and it says that what is your position, that you have to finalize, you have to decide. You have to decide. What is your position in this particularly? What is that? Yatamana. Someone is trying to control. That is, yatamana means trying. He wants to slowly give up. Sri Ramakrishna Dev is telling, then one lady was telling her husband, you are having so many things, you are attached to so many things. Look at that person. He was having 5 wives, and one after another, every year he is renouncing 1 wife. And then finally he has decided on the 6th year he will renounce the world. Then this person said, can you practice this way? You have to renounce this moment. He was having one towel, he took at the towel and said, see, look at this, I am now leaving. He left. So these are the 2 types of renounce. So slowly he is renouncing. One person who was habituated of smoking. Then all doctor and his wife and friends, they told, give up the smoking. Then he gave up the smoking only in the morning, and then after the tea, then in the lunch, after lunch, then smoking 5. He used to smoke 50, now it has come down to 5. It's a great achievement. Then someone told, you better chew something, betel nuts or something like that, so that you can give up. So he started chewing the betel nut instead of smoking. So that way he is. But when one person was told you have to give up the smoke, he said, okay. So this is the mental condition. Some people are very strong. Once they take the resolution, that's all. And they say that whether it kills me or hurts me, it doesn't matter. I am not going to do it, not doing it. So this first is the condition of your mind. How strong is your mind? How sincere you are. So there it says yatamana. And the condition is that you have to judge the whether you are practicing now, slowly. Then bhatireka, second state comes, it discriminates. This is good and this is bad. So I will go to the good instead of the bad. So there he is discriminating and progressing. Ekendriya, here he is in a very advanced stage. In ekendriya, desire comes, but it is not disturbing the mind. What is there in the human life? Desire only, and nothing else. And that desire makes everything. We are becoming sometimes making ourselves fool and some people are criticizing. Why? Because some desire is there. And to fulfill that desire, I go to that extent. And if you look at the positions in 100 years before, when the British rule was there, the desire of all the landlords were to get a title from the Britishers. Rai Bahadur. What is Rai and what is Bahadur? What he will do with that Rai Bahadur? But he is so desirous to get the Rai Bahadur, he will go to any extent to satisfy the Britishers. We know that so many stories are there. So desire, and he makes himself funny, and people criticize him. He loses all because of one desire. But here, when one can control the desire, eka indriya, only one, that condition, desire comes, but it's not making any effect. It's coming and going, that's all. So that is called ekendriya. Then total control. Even that which is previously it was coming in his mind but not creating any problem, could not influence the mind, totally stopped. That is also not coming. Even that ripple is not there in the mind. It's called Vashikara. That is the excellent condition of the mind. Unthinkable. That was the condition of the mind of all these people. Excellent was Swami Vivekananda. And when he was very young, from that time, in his life, he was totally Vashikara, not at all attached with anything. That's why Sri Ramakrishna used to love him so much. It is the greatest quality. So slowly we have to gain those qualities. Now it comes from, in the 16th aphorism, it says, and we will take the help of Swami Vivekananda to explain it, Tat param purusha khyate guna vaitrishnam. Then after that what happens? Tat param purusha khyate guna vaitrishnam. Tat means that renunciation. Param means highest. So when it is the realization of the Atman, it is there, realization of the Atman, then all other desires, it goes away. So that is the Tat Param Purusha Khyate. This portion, it is taking the help of the Samkhya philosophy, Yoga and Samkhya. Yoga is the practice, Samkhya is the philosophy. They tell the theories and Yoga practice it. The Yoga, Samkhya Yoga, it goes together, Samkhya and Yoga. But they are two totally different. Kapila Muni, he is the founder of the Samkhya philosophy, and Patanjali is the Yoga. The Yoga and Samkhya. But to philosophize, to explain the thing, Kapila is taking the help of, Patanjali is taking the help of the Kapila Muni philosophy. What is that? It says, according to Yoga philosophy, the whole of nature consists of three gunas, or the forces. We say Triguna. Guna Rahita. Sometimes about the God they will say Guna Rahita. There is no qualities at all. In a Bengali poem was there, Ma Durga, in the form of an ordinary lady, she wanted to cross the river, and the boatman said, give me the money. And she said, I don't have any money. Well, what do you say? You look like a very good lady, must be from a very good family. And what is your husband? Oh, don't talk about him. And what happened? Then Ma Durga gives the description of Shiva. And that is a wonderful way, as if telling the negative, but everything is positive. Kono gun nahi tar, kopale agun. In Bengali, he is not having any qualities. And in kopale agun means oh my God, only having fire on his forehead. Shiva is having that spiritual eye, and it can burn. Kapale agun. And kono gun nai, beyond the three gunas, above the three gunas. But the Ishwar Patani, the man, the boatman, the ordinary man, how he will know, oh my God, your husband is having no qualities. He is thinking, the ordinary people will be thinking in this way, but other people. So here, Triguna Rahita. He is not having any quality. It doesn't mean not having the quality. He is above the qualities. And what are those qualities? Satya, Raja and Tama. Almost all Indians, they know these three qualities. Satya, Raja, Tama. And what is this Tama? Tama guna means darkness or inactivity. That is called Tama. Don't desire to do anything, and whatever you say, it misinterpret, misunderstand, always do the opposite. That is Tamaguna. Always they will be behaving very peculiarly, and you will be explaining, why they are behaving like this? He is not actually to be blamed, it is his guna. This Tamaguna, this is the quality. Now the present day psychologists, they are trying to get the explanation why the mind behaves like this. Long back, we have already understood what are the reasons. Tamaguna. They can never be satisfied. This is a very peculiar type of qualities, very, very peculiar. They can never get peace and cannot give any peace to anyone. So this is Tamagunas. Then comes the Raja. Raja means attraction or repulsion. They are active. Either they are attracted or repulsive. Anything immediately, now I need this, I must have to have this, they will be going on like that. I was reading in the newspaper, one foolish man, he is supposed to maintain the law and order. After marriage, he started thinking, I should have a car. And to purchase the car, the money should come from my wife's father. My father-in-law should pay the money. And after 2 years, he lost the patience and killed the wife. Now he is in jail. Now, of course, he will be always going by car, a big car, in the jail car, and he will go from here and there. So these are the desire is so strong, they forget everything. Their maximum Tama, Raja is also there, but the Rajas are very active. They are good. In that way, it is good, but that should be always mixed with Sattva Guna. What is that? Tranquility. Of both desire, the attachment and repulsion. With that, tranquility. Suppose I go for something, I lose, okay, I tried my best, that's all. Your mind is always tranquil, no problem. Who is then enjoying the life? You. Who is suffering? You. So one person who was asking how to make it, I will just ask yourself, you like to suffer? Then go on thinking like that, brooding over that thought and suffer. But if you can analyze, all these shastras are for what? To give us a better life. And how the better life comes? From thought, from discrimination, from vichara. And here it says, the three qualities, Satya, Raja and Tama, this Sattva nature we should have. Then everything that is in the nature, all manifestations are the combinations and recombinations of these three forces. Swami Vivekananda said, all that we see in this world is nothing but this. So that is why you have to take the position of a higher stage. And you have to understand these people are behaving like this because they are in that lower stages. Shall I go down and fight with them? Or make myself in that higher situation, higher condition? Okay, let them behave like that, but I am much higher than this. That is the highest condition, and is called Sattva Guna. This Sattva Guna, the combination of these three is the whole nature, and nature has been divided into various categories by the Shamkhyas. And they say there is a self in every human being, and that self is beyond nature. These two things we have to keep in mind. One is the nature, which is inert, including our buddhi, including our mind is inert. And beyond this is the self. That is only consciousness. It is effulgent, pure and perfect, the self. Whatever of intelligence we see in nature is but the reflection of the self. And nature also includes mind. Mind is in nature. Thought is in nature. From thought down to the grossest form of matter, everything is in nature. So only two things are there. One is a self, which we call God, which is the consciousness, and all other things except that is nothing but inert. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, Ek ke janan naam gyan, baki sab agyan. If you know only one, if you can realize only God, that is knowledge. And knowing all other things, that is not knowledge. So knowledge means, in our philosophy, only the realization or the perfect knowledge of God. Here it says, Swami Vivekananda, this nature has covered the self, and it appears in its own glory. Self appears in its own glory. What is the nature? It covers the self. Very peculiar. The God is within us, and we are searching for God. So that is very peculiar. Why? Because it is covered. How it is covered? By ahamkara, ego. And what is that ego? Name, fame, physical body, everything that we do. Everything is nothing but the nature, and nature is going on superimposing on the self, and not understanding the real personality, we go on over that and that. So that is the way we have to slowly discriminate. Whatever comes on us is nothing but the nature, which is impermanent. It will go someday. And that's why we have to understand, self will appear in its own glory. Non-attachment, as described in Aphorism 15, is the greatest help towards manifesting the self. The Swami Vivekananda says like this. So why we should practice non-attachment? Because that will help us to realize the self. What will happen when we realize the self? Always the joy, joy and joy. The peace and joy, these are the two words we always try to understand, we always try to get, but not knowing how to get it. The peace and joy, peace and happiness, how to get it? This is the very special feature here in the yoga aphorism, and 15, 16, 17 it will be telling. 17 it takes us to the last position, samadhi. How the samadhi can come? Again, in that samadhi also it says there are two stages. It's so difficult to reach on the final stage. But what is this first? In 17th it says vitarka, vichar, ananda ashmita rupanugamat sampragyata. There are two types of samadhi. What is samadhi? Total control of the mind. Now, just for the recapitulation, what is mind? The flow of thoughts. Where from the thought comes? From desire. Where from the desire comes? By attachment with the sense objects. What are the sense objects? Millions. But they have made it in a very wonderful way, only 5. That is Rupa, Rasa, Shabda, Sparsha and Gandha. These are the 5. How it affects our mind? Because we collect it. How we collect it? Through our 5 sense organs. What are the sense organs? 5 sense organs collecting this information. Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jivha, Tak. The eye, the nose, the ear, the tongue and the skin. Tvak. And this way we are collecting and sending the information to the mind, and mind is becoming agitated. So we cannot meditate. What is the result when we cannot meditate, control our mind? Suffering. We cannot sleep, we cannot go here and there, and so many different varieties of suffering. So this is very peculiar. Now, how to get rid of it? That is why we are studying the scripture. What for the scripture? To give us the training or the teaching so that we can get rid of this. This is the problem we have now we know. How? Then first and foremost thing they say renunciation, non-attachment, viraga, jahati, another word of the viraga. So how? Then they say constant practice. How to practice? Through vichara. Now positive way we are going down to the root of all travel. Now from there we are coming up. So we are doing the discrimination. All things that we see is all changing. Yesterday we went to the downtown Chicago to one family. They were showing me the pictures. Many of you are there, very young people, so good looking, so young, and all so many things were there. It is all changing. Only yesterday I was calculating my birthday and how old I am. Oh my God, I am really very old now. Before 50 years before I am supposed to die by this time. But because of the development of the science and medicine and lifestyle, still I am. And always Belur think that I am young and always put me in the Yuva Sammelan. No more young, don't put me in Yuva Sammelan. Put some other people. But anyway, this time very kindly they have given to the Bhakta Sammelan. So this is all changing, and changing so fast. We do not know, we do not understand. But it's going to happen. Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yamamandiram. Every moment people are dying and going to the God of death. Sthira. Sthiramichanti. Those who are leaving, they think we are going to survive. Nothing is going to happen to us. Kimascharjamata param, Yudhishthira said to Dharmaraja. And that is the most wonderful thing in the whole world. And who does it? Then to explain this, for the devotees, they say, it is Mahamaya. And who is this Mahamaya? Power of God. That is the way the devotees will be explaining. But what the yoga says, you. And how? I am myself suffering, and why should I take this? Because of your desire. And the desire comes from the attachment. So all goes back to that. So two different approaches. So we must remember, one is through the path of jnana and yoga, another from the bhakti and karma. The bhakti and karma, they say, this is Mahamaya. And what Mahamaya does? Bind. How it binds? Through ego. And the ego goes and thinks that I must get it. Who is this ego? Sri Ramakrishna gives the explanation. Open the onion, layer after layer. How many of you have opened the onion? If you have not, go and try. If you are opening the onion, it's so perfect, you will see. Of course, here the onions are so small. Some big onions, if you open, you will see one after another layer it goes. Ultimately, nothing is there. And that is here also in this body, Annamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, one after another it goes. Ultimately, nothing. I. And what is that I? Reflection of the self. For anything and everything, immediately we react. Why? Ego. And that ego constantly boosting up. But we do not understand that is a reflection only. That is not original. So here it teaches that you have to understand this. And then only you can be free from all desire. Then only you will reach to Samadhi. And that Samadhi also, that is very, very high condition of the mind of the yogis. But even then, in that Samadhi too, that is a lower level. And then this is the higher level. Sometimes some people will be telling, Avatara Varishtaya, Swami Vivekananda said about Sri Ramakrishna. Is it just a devotees or a shishya's psychological or emotional expression? Because naturally, I always try to say about my guru is this and that, nothing wrong. But Vivekananda is not telling like that. The life of Sri Ramakrishna, if you see the life of Sri Ramakrishna, if you read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, this is the first time. This is the first time such a highest form of renunciation. And that is why Swami Vivekananda is telling Avatara Varishtaya. There are many others. Arguments are there why he is telling like this. Swami Gambhiranandaji in one of his lecture, he has mentioned like that. But it is not by belittling or criticizing other avatars. He is telling only the condition. If you have to understand Sri Ramakrishna, this is the condition, the highest condition of mind. Why? Because God wanted to express himself in that fashion, in that manner. So you cannot ask, why God has not come before like this? It is his will. So that is the devotee's way. And here it is very categorical. It says, don't blame on God. It is you, the desire. And that desire, from there you have to withdraw. How? Renunciation. How the renunciation will come? Discrimination. What is the discrimination? Everything is transitory. Everything is changing. It will go away. Then why to stick to it? As long as you are there, do the best. And that is why he says, Bitarka, Bichar, Ananda, Asmita. Through these you can go. And what is this Bitarka? Swami Vivekananda explains, there are two sorts of objects for meditation. 25 categories of the Samkhyas. The whole world, the creation, Samkhya says, 1 Purusha and 24 Prakriti. That's why in the life of Krishna you will find so many wives, people not knowing, they will be criticizing the life of Krishna. Many, they have criticized Krishna. Oh, he was like this only. No, that is only symbolizing Purusha and Prakriti. One is consciousness and others are inert. And that has been expressed in such a way so that even the ordinary people can also understand and ask question. What Krishna did, he took away all the clothing of the ladies. They were bathing in the river or in the pond, and he was sitting on the branch of a tree. Then the ladies were begging, "Oh Krishna, please give us our clothings." Krishna said, "No, you have to come up." And people will be saying, "Oh my God, this is your Krishna." So bad, without understanding. 24 gopinis. And what is this body? Inert. So why you are attached to this body? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, once there was a flood that was coming in the Ganges, and he's called all his young disciples who were there in his room, "Come, let us go and see how the tide is coming." Some of them, they got up and they were searching for the clothings, and then you cannot just like that, you cannot go, so you have to cover your body, and they were putting up the dress. When they reached over there, it has already gone. Sri Ramakrishna was rebuking. What is this? In the name of God, he asked people, "You should dance." And they will be, some of them, they will be feeling, "Oh no, I cannot dance." The present President Maharaj of Ramakrishna Mission, any program is going on, when he was very young and the vice assistant general secretary like that, he used to ask the brahmacharis to dance. Many of the brahmacharis, they will feel shy before dancing before others. What is there? Raise your hand and dance. Why you are feeling shy? The moment you are feeling shy means you have body consciousness, ego consciousness, alertness about the other's opinion, what people will think of me if I dance, how thing will be like this. Is it not ego? Are you not bound? That's why. The moment they will be like this, they will be dancing in the name of. Again, if we quote the life of Mirabai, she was the princess, she was the queen, and she was going on dancing on the road before her subjects, her prajas. All people were criticizing her. And what she said? "Mere to Giridhari Lal, dusra na koi." There is no other, second is not there. Who is looking at me? They are also just like the woods and inert people. Are they really living? So these are the discrimination in the name of God. Body consciousness is gone. So the Krishna is showing that we cannot explain it in that way. We go on telling some all different way because we have body consciousness. And that is why we always try to explain things in that way. It is wrong. Krishna was not like that. He was only showing this. Out of 25, one is only consciousness. 24 unconscious things. That is the philosophy of the Shankar. How this world was created? One consciousness, that is the God, you can say, from the viewpoint of the devotees. I am again and again telling two things. One is Jnana, Shankha and Yoga way of approach. Another is Bhakti. In the Bhakti Marga, there is God. And the Krishna is a symbol of consciousness, but as a God, personified God. What he was showing, that Jnana. What is that Jnana? This body is nothing but inert. So this is the way we have to understand. Swami Vivekananda is telling there are two sorts of objects for meditation. One, 25 categories of the Samkhyas, the 24 insentient categories of nature, and second, one sentient Purusha. Purusha and Prakriti. The moment they say Purusha and the Prakriti, there are some, I won't name, some of the religious groups are there. They say only one Purusha and there will be one Purusha. And the male person and all Prakritis, all the ladies. Wrong. It has nothing to do with this, male or female. It is only the philosophy we have to understand, consciousness. And where consciousness remain? Inside. And that's called Pura. Pura means inside. And here, inside, that consciousness is there, and that's called Purusha. And that is the reason And again, I think in the life of Mirabai or some other lady saint, and someone was telling, oh yes, then the Vaishnava, there they were telling she wanted to meet that saint. And he said, I don't meet the ladies. I don't talk with the ladies. I cannot meet that lady. Then she told, in Vrindavan and in the whole world, there is only one Purusha. I never knew there is another Purusha is here. He thinks that I am a Purusha. See, he is also a very high stage saint, but he never knew. Bhagavan Sri Ram Krishna, he used to go and lie with the ladies. He was young man, 30, 32 years, young man. But the ladies never felt shame. He used to go and talk with them. In those days, in our country, our ladies, you can understand. But they never felt like that. And when he used to dress himself as a lady, Prakriti, I am a Prakriti, I am a Dashi, a maid servant of the God. And Sri Ramakrishna, dressed like a lady, was standing among the ladies. Mathur Babu came, he found another lady in his own home, and he was not recognizing who is this lady, where from came. Afterwards asked his wife, who is that young lady was standing by your side at the time of Durga Puja? Lady? That was the Baba. That is Sri Ramakrishna. They used to call him Baba, father, Sri Ramakrishna. So he was like that, no body consciousness. Will you believe? Young man lying in between Mathur Babu and his wife. And both of them never felt that another young man is sitting, lying in between both of them. They used to think there's a just young kid in between the parents lying, no body consciousness. Can you imagine? So that is Prakriti and Purusha. Now, we will just read the Vivekananda. As you will remember, egoism and the will and the mind have a common basis. Ahamkara and the mona, mind, egoism, the ahamkara, will and the mind have a common basis. The chitta, the mind staff, out of which they are all manufactured. The mind staff takes in the forces of nature and projects them as thought. There must be something again where both force and matter are one. Force and matter are one, and this is called abhyakta, unmanifested. The unmanifested state of nature before creation, and to which, after the end of a cycle, the whole of nature returns to come out again after another period. Beyond this is the Purusha. See, there are two. One thing is very subtle. That is called abhyakta. Bhakta, abhyakta. Bhakta means manifested. Abhyakta means not manifested, but it is totally there, inside the mind. This building and the temple and anything that we create, before that, the creator, he is having the complete idea what they are going to create inside the mind. It has not been drawn on the paper, it has not come out physically, but the whole idea is there in the mind. That is abhyakta. Similarly, the God before creation was having complete idea of the creation. That's called abhyakta. Bhaktya and abhyakta. And this abhyakta stage, Swamiji is telling, unmanifested of the nature before creation, and to which after the end of the cycle it goes back again to the same thing. What is the Srishti and the Pralaya? We are very happy with the Srishti, very much afraid of the Pralaya. In the Christendom, they always say of the last day has come, last day has come. Somebody will be going on ringing the bell and say like that, the last day has come. What is that last day? There is actually nothing last day. Next day. This moment we are going out somewhere and we will change our form, our name, again come, enter. That is the way it goes on, the creation and the destruction. The moment they say about the destruction, the goddess Kali, the goddess of destruction, oh my God, they are very much afraid. Jagadhatri, Durga, they are good. But the Kali, majority of the people are afraid because destruction. It's not destruction. It's only going back to the original form where the thought is there. And from the thought again the creation will come. See, someone thought about that temple. You see that over there, all that is ready. Thought is there. Then 500 people will come. They will meditate. They will listen to the discourses of the Swamis. Then there will be food. Bhaktas will come. All thought is there. And slowly, slowly, one day, you will find, maybe after 10 years or so, there will be huge things. Swami Vivekananda, he started thinking about a place where Sri Ramakrishna's relics will be there. And centering that place, all the young men and women will come. They will take the ideology of the renunciation and spread all over the world, telling people that you are not only mere body, you are the consciousness, you are the pure self. So that is the idea. And he was going and complaining to mother, Ma, I am having this thought, but Thakur is not helping me. I am not getting any support from any people. How can I purchase a plot of land? How can I construct a building? And so many thoughts. And Vivekananda's thought means not small one. It must be very big. And he was thinking that it will be huge building and that will be so many different varieties of culture will be there. Roman culture, Hindu culture, then all thought was there, abhyakta. Then Mother said, do you think you and Sri Ramakrishna are different? No. When the thought has come in your mind, it will one day be surely there because it is the thought of God. So what we have to do, when we plan to do something, we have to offer it to Thakur, to God. And we have to say, in your planning, please put it also. If the God takes up the idea, it manifests abhyakta and bhakta. This is the only two things. So this abhyakta condition, knowledge is power, here Swamiji is telling. And as soon as we begin to know a thing, we get power over it. So how the building is coming up? Without knowing, if we try to do, it will break down. But a person who has been trained in this, they know the reinforcement, that means the structure should be on the basis of the steel or some other material which will hold it. Such a big, so many people sitting over here, such a big area, is just like this, is holding. How? Planning. How the planning came? Knowledge. They know if the infrastructure is like this, the steel is like this, if you wind like this, it will take this much of weight, everything is calculated. The moment you are having that knowledge, you are having the power also. And over that power, now in Japan, they are making a building which will tilt but will not break at the time of earthquake. Power over nature. Same thing is happening, it's nothing miraculous. If you are controlling the nature, controlling your own mind, what do you get? Knowledge. Knowledge on what? Prakriti. And then you can manage the Prakriti in any manner. That is why knowledge is power. And as soon as we begin to know a thing, we get power over it. So also when the mind begins to meditate on the different elements, it gains power over them. That sort of meditations where the external gross elements are the objects are called savitarka. The two different types of meditation ultimate meditation, samadhi. One is sabitkalpa samadhi and is nirvikalpa samadhi. Then bitarka means question. Bitarka, bichar, ananda, asmita. These are the four. So today, bitarka. Bitarka means question. You are questioning. I will again remind you. So this is a science that we are studying, pure science. We are studying the mind. So bitarka means questioning. Now the mind like to concentrate. And to concentrate, we have to take the help of something, some object. The moment you are concentrating on that object, you are getting power on that object. If the object is not God, then you get control over that power. So that's why questioning the elements, as it were, that they may give their truths and their power to the man who meditates upon. And that is called occult power. What is occult power? Some people, they will go to the cremation ground and they will meditate on the ghost. And they will catch one ghost or two ghosts, control them. It is true. And they will get so many occult power also. It is possible. Swami Vivekananda is telling the procession of what is called occult power is only intensifying the world and in the end intensifying suffering. He is giving, it is possible. You can gain, you can control. And many people are interested on yoga. Why? To get this occult power. Majority of the people are interested to meditate not for peace, but to acquire occult power. There are so many people. I can give a long list. You know so many people who came from India and they were here famous. They accumulated so much of wealth. How? Showing the occult power. They had the occult power. They were really meditating, but meditating to gain that power. And finally what happened? They suffered. Each and every one of them. They lost all their glory, and one end of his life in the prison. So that is the way, the occult power. But it is possible. I can give you one example. Jayadratha, he killed Arjuna's son. And Arjuna promised, the Kshatriya, very angry, immediately promised, I will kill Jayadratha tomorrow, or otherwise I will burn myself alive. Before committing like this, you must know how much power you are having. The moment he declared like that, Arjuna declared, immediately they planned and they hid the Jayadratha. And all the great warriors, they were covering Jayadratha. If you have to reach to kill him, you have to kill so many of them. And each and every one, they were excellent. Arjuna tried and he was getting tired. It was impossible to keep his words. Then the God came in his help. God Sri Krishna, he loved Arjuna so much. That time he showed the occult power. We have read in the Mahabharata. What was that? In the daytime I should kill. When evening approaches, then Arjuna will burn himself alive. That was. Krishna covered the whole sun and created the atmosphere of evening, the evening approaching. Immediately all those people, they forgot, and there was no watches. Every time they will check up what is the time now. So they thought, so this is very good. Now the evening is coming. Jayadratha can come up. We can enjoy. We can celebrate, and we will go and see how the Arjuna is killing himself. Jayadratha came out. Immediately Krishna asked, go, remove, and ask the sun to come, appear again. Can you imagine the occult power? Tremendous power. Dictating the sun, because he was the God. He could do it. So that is the reason. We have seen occult power. Many of you know about it, heard about it. So many people can do so many things. Little bit of that Krishna showed it. Maximum. Same we can say, almost not knowing particularly what is it. Many people, they observe the power of our Sharadanandaji Maharaj. Sharadanandaji also practiced Tantra. And Sri Ramakrishna asked all others not to practice Tantra because you get the occult power and it is very difficult to digest. When the things are happening just before you, you know that you can help them or stop it because you have the power. Still then you have to be very quiet, ignore that. It's impossible. See, Swami Vivekananda was that occult power. Once or twice only he showed. And when here in America, I think the first thing happened in America and second in France. One lady was a very famous opera singer and she was thinking that she will commit suicide. And her friend brought her to Swamiji. Swamiji never looked at her. He was sitting facing the wall. The moment she entered, he started telling all her life. Some of the incidents which only she knew and nobody else. How could he do that? A tremendous power, so easy. Sri Ramakrishna said, I can read every mind. And it is so easy, just like the things kept in the glass almirah, you can see, I can also see your thoughts. But he didn't change. He allowed the nature to grow accordingly. Here, that I will just tell and stop here today. Ma Sharadamani he passed away. Her body came from Bagbajar to Belur Math. And those you who have visited Belur Math, you have seen the temple of Ma Sharada. That was the place where her body was cremated. And the Swamiji's temple where Swamiji's body was cremated. Mothers, they have lighted the pyre, it was burning, and suddenly all they saw that the black clouds are coming, raining, torrential rain, approaching, crossing the Ganga. Then naturally, when the whole body is not properly burned, if that time if it comes and it is open, how to cover it? And there was no time. Sharadanandaji prayed to Mother. Mother, ask the rain to stop over there till we complete the whole thing. Before the eyes of thousands of people, hundreds of people, the rain stopped on the center of Ganga. People could not see the other shore of Ganga, that is Calcutta side. And they standing over there, not a single drop on the land of Belur. Everything was complete. Sharadanandaji himself went, took a little water from the Ganges and poured it on the pyre. Immediately the whole rain came, and as if the God themselves were pouring the water. It happened. So this is the occult power. It is possible. It's not that it is not. But the thing is, to achieve that occult power, we have to strive a lot. And then, after getting that occult power, how we are utilizing it? And after utilizing, what is the result? Again, going back to the square one. Again suffering. And that is why one should not meditate to get this occult power. But at the same time, this is also truth. By controlling mind on a particular object, you can get the thorough knowledge of that particular object and can become powerful of that object. So this is here they say what is sampragyata, vitarka, vichar, ananda and asmita. On these four, if you are meditating, the gross things are over, desires are over. Only to concentrate, you are taking the help of vitarka. What is that vitarka? A thorough knowledge about one thing. We will discuss it in details in the next class. The many people they say, without any object meditation is possible. Maybe, because the next step we will read that. But for whom? Very, very advanced soul. And that is why the Hindus, they have always given this object. When this vitarka, vichar, ananda, asmita, that is also very subtle. It is also not possible for ordinary people to understand and meditate and concentrate on that. And that is why all these images, Tetrish Koti, 33 crore of gods and goddesses. Why? You choose varieties. Anyone you choose, only concentrate on that God. And when you are concentrating, what you are getting? The guna, the qualities of that particular God. So that's why before the initiation in the Ramakrishna mission, they always say, you must have to read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharada, Vivekananda, then only, and their teachings also, then only accept the initiation. Because you have to meditate on them. And when you are meditating, not only the figure, not only the picture, not only the image, you have to meditate on their qualities. And unless and until you acquire those qualities, a meditation has no value. And what is the quality of Sri Ramakrishna? In one word, simplicity and purity. Simplicity and purity. This is the quality of Sri Ramakrishna. And how simplicity comes? The child is simple because unattached. He is not attached with anything except the mother. Not at all attached. That is called simplicity. So one can become simple when one is not attached with anything. That is called simplicity. Thank you very much. In next day, we will again discuss on this topic. Let us chant the last mantra. The last mantra, that's the sloka of the Shankaracharya, is a positive. Always all the things are negative. I am not, I am not, I am not. Here is the positive. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam navasangatam naiva muktirnameya chidananda rupa shivoham 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 shivoham. I am the Blessed One, and from me no danger be to aught that leave. That is the Shiva. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma.